He is actually pretty good with a lot of stuff. So the things that come up as inhibited, so remember his back pain is mostly right-sided. So the things that come up inhibited on his right are rectus femoris, gluteus maximus, vastus lateralis was good. That was about it. I think TFL maybe. And psoas major. What comes up on the left? Gluteus maximus and pyramidalis on both, okay? So pyramidalis is a bilateral, okay? That's about all there is. So upper body checks out, C-spine checks out, feet check out, soleus checks out, everything checks out except for those things. So he's got very few things going on that are inhibited that are making it pretty much impossible for him to do a standing lumbar flexion toe touch. So once we get those muscles refacilitated, which took about 5 minutes, stand him back up and have him do a toe touch, now he's able to get to about, he's probably 50% limited. So he's able to now get to here with his toe touch, but now he locks up and now he's out of extension in the lumbar spine. He's getting to neutral. So he's at neutral, locks up at neutral, can't go any further, okay? So does that mean we need to go release something? No. That means we've got things facilitated. So I actually put him back on the table, rechecked those quick, easy muscles. They're still good. So what that's telling me is proprioceptively, he's developed a compensatory pattern over the last week of doing nothing that tells him do not go into lumbar flexion with a long lever arm. So how am I going to trick him into going into lumbar flexion with a long lever arm? I'm going to bias transverse plane motion at the hips and the lumbar spine and the trunk. So we go do crossover walk with the squat. We go do lunge walk with a twist. Come back, retest toe touch. Now he's past 90. He's getting into lumbar flexion and he's getting deeper. Okay. What else can I do now to let those muscles know, hey, we can do this? How about I load him? Because remember, when you load people going through movements, they're going to have to recruit more muscle. So what muscle do we know has not wanted to move? Psoas major. Glute max, we're kind of past that now. Rectus fem, we're kind of past that now. So psoas major. So I'm going to say, hey, psoas major, you can do more than you're doing. Here's how I'm going to make you do that. I have him do Jefferson curls. What? You made somebody with low back pain do Jefferson curls? Hell yeah, I did. I gave him a 25-pound kettlebell. His first Jefferson curl was rough. Didn't coach him, didn't cue him on anything. He eventually got down there, but it took a while. And coming back up was rough. So what does that tell you? If he's got more pain, more low back pain, coming back up, the eccentric load, or the concentric load, than the eccentric, that tells me that the psoas, which is now controlling, along with a lot of other stuff, so it's not just psoas. So psoas is the chief control of lumbar flexion in his case right now. It's not controlling that when he goes down. It's trying to stay in extension or neutral. So who that I already worked on, that I already mentioned, is not kicking in to give the reciprocal response for psoas to say, okay, you've got control, I'm gonna go into flexion now. Pyramidalis. So on his second one, I say, okay, now you're going to do the same Jefferson curl that you did the first time, but I want you to consciously engage your abs. So just like you're going to be doing a sit-up or a crunch, I want you to squeeze your abs as you're going down. Okay. Second time, he squeezes his abs going down and he goes really smooth, nice and easy all the way down, comes up, fantastic. No problem coming back up, no pain. So when he's going down, now we're getting pyramidalis to kick in, to pull tight on the linea alba, to pull the rest of the abs in, to contract into flexion. So now those are contracting into flexion, which is giving the reciprocal response to the psoas in this case. Also glute max, hamstrings, all that stuff contract less. So reciprocal response means the opposing muscles contract less as the prime movers contract more. We have give and take, and now we have smooth motion. So I have him do one more with actively engaging abs, does well. Now I say, okay, don't worry about actively trying to squeeze your abs, just do the Jefferson curl like we did it the first time. So now he does it nice and smooth. Abs are kicking in without him consciously doing that. Now he has full toe touch. Take away the weight, toe touch again, full toe touch, full lumbar spine flexion, and we're done. Okay? So let me go back. So when we were, I was talking about, can you palpate psoas? So this is a 6'4"-ish, extremely dense, muscular, 20-ish-year-old rower. How dense and thick do you think his abdominal wall is? I can tell you extremely, because when I tried to palpate psoas, so let's say his psoas from his abs to the anterior aspect of his lumbar spine, let's say we got that much room, okay? I'm only getting my fingers that far. So am I getting to psoas? No. So how did I get psoas to kick in if I can't get there? And so for you people that are doing massage and you think you're getting to psoas, I guarantee you, you're not getting there. Because the more athletic the person is, the harder it's going to be. Your obese people are going to be easier to get closer to psoas, but you're still not going to, even if I'm pushing through and I'm trying to get through, I'm still not going to get all the way there. I'll get some tissue approximation where I'm pushing all this stuff that's in front of the psoas into the psoas. So sometimes that'll work. With this guy, I'm not even close. So how do I get psoas to kick on and refacilitate? So I'm going to try that. That doesn't work so well. I'm going to go to the synergist who helps psoas major, iliacus. I can get to iliacus. I can get to his iliacus. I can palpate that. I can test him again, and now he passes. So now if I let him stay in lumbar neutral or extension like he's laying on the table, because that's his position that he's comfortable in. That's the position that his lumbar spine wants to stay in because he's been stuck there for a week. If I let him stay there, he'll pass the psoas test the first time. If I take him and put him into flexion, so if I say flatten your back against the table, that's when he fails. That's when it reproduces his low back pain. Okay? And it's not reproducing low back pain at the psoas, it's reproducing low back pain at the lumbar extensors like multifidus and iliocostalis umborum. Those are the things where his pain is, because those are working too hard. Did I ever touch those? No, because those are not the problem. Okay? So once I get through testing him in flexion, extension, and neutral lumbar spine, he fails flexion. Treat psoas as best I can, which isn't very good. Go to iliacus, I can get that. Come back and retest psoas and iliacus. They both pass in all three positions, and his pain is gone, even though I never touched multifidus or iliacus or iliocostalis. Okay, so that's how we got the psoas to kick in. So now we do the reinforcement exercises. Now psoas says, oh, I can do this. I've got proprioception now. Thank you for resetting my synergist. Thank you for resetting the antagonist. So they're pulling us into flexion, so I can unload when they pull me into flexion. Okay, so in the time that it would have taken a conventional physical therapist to set up E-stem, to set up cupping, to set up needling, and do all of the garbage that isn't going to do anything other than short-term symptom relief, I was done with a complete visit, head-to-toe screen, treat him on the table, reinforcement exercises, rescreen, patient education, walk him through his home exercise program, and we're done, and it was less than a half an hour. Never did heat, never did ice, never did passive range of motion, never did soft tissue garbage anything, never did modalities. All that stuff is dancing around the fact that you don't know. If you're doing those things, you don't know how to get to the root cause. So the root cause of his problem was inhibition of the psoas major and glute max and rectus fem and pyramidalis. So once we get to those things, we reverse those things, we don't have to dance around symptoms and do conventional PT garbage. And I don't have to fill his head full of, oh, you've got this problem, and oh, these muscles need to relax, and you need to do these stretches. So told him, you're going to do your exercises that I gave you, crossover walk with the squat, lunge walk with the twist, isometrics for pyramidalis, isometrics for psoas major, go back to lifting, go do whatever you want to do. I'll see you in a week, and we'll retest everything and make sure everything is good. That is what it sounds like and looks like, and those are the results that you get when you get to the root cause and you ignore symptoms and you don't do conventional PT crap. All right, so if you have questions on any part of that, the screen, the palpation, the tests, the reinforcement exercises, the patient education, whatever. Post your questions below and I will get to those. See you next time.